Testing 1, 2, and we are live. Looks like we've got a good selection of people from around the world. So thanks for joining me. Episode number 19 of the Sunday afternoon sessions where we talk about Atlas Earth. So this is the 19th time we've got together on a Sunday afternoon, quote unquote, here on the East Coast of the United States. But I can appreciate that it is at different times around the world. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. I appreciate the time you spend with me, as I always say, because time is the most precious commodity. So let's face it. But thanks for joining me so we can talk about what's been up in Atlas Earth this past week. I think the biggest news, and I did a video this past week on this, and then we'll get into chat, that I think the biggest news is that the new feed is going into beta testing, and I did a video on that. The link is available. Annalise had posted it in the information or updates section of the Discord. So if you didn't happen to get the email and you want to go ahead and join the beta on that, you can put your name in on it. The only caveat there, it is the beta test is going to be in English. So it's not limited, from what I know, what she said to me, it's not limited by country, it's limited by language. So as long as you can speak English, if you want to get in on the beta test of the feed, you can go ahead and put your name in on it. It probably, a lot of people were reporting, I didn't get the email. Well, it might have went to your spam or something like that. But the link is available, and I did put it in that video I posted this week. I did put it, in the video information if you are interested. But I immediately signed up. I think it's a cool idea. There's mixed reactions across the board. Some people like the idea. Some people don't like the idea. I can see it both ways. Some people like the app as it is and don't want to risk kind of ruining it. I don't know. I like the idea from a creator perspective. It gives me another outlet to go ahead and put my videos up. And if you feel like it was worth your time, you can tip me an Atlas Buck. And at the same time, while you're interacting with the feed and watching people's videos and stuff, then you get the chance of earning Atlas Bucks as well. So it's kind of a win-win proposition. Either way, I think that's the biggest news item this past week. Let's jump into chat and see what's going on. Pure Gaming is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Says, just wanted to thank you. Your advice and tips helped me out a lot. Well, I'm glad. You're quite welcome. That's what I kind of started this journey on this this channel. I brought the Atlas Earth coverage to this channel last year. About March time frame when I started playing. I'm like, hey, it'd be cool to kind of, log my journey as it were in Atlas Earth and kind of put tips and tricks together for people just starting out that might help everybody out. So quite welcome, and I'm glad it helped you out. Hey, Brandtastic is here. Welcome, Brandon. Thanks for dropping by. Cerezi's in the house. Good morning. Eric Wang is here. Thanks for dropping by, Eric. Donnie S. is here from the Netherlands and says good evening. Good evening to you, Donnie. Let me know how it's going over in the Netherlands. Relatively new to the Atlas Earth atmosphere. Warrior VS is here. Bonjour. Looks like you're dropping by from France. It's also would be evening over there, so thanks for dropping by. Pure Gaming says hi from, you're from South Africa. Well, welcome. Lady Sharon is here. Good morning. Thanks for dropping by, Sharon. Preview This is here. Says hi. Brandtastic says, I know it's a bit too early to ask, but do you have anything special for the 100th live stream? Wow, that's pretty far out. No, I haven't even thought about it. We're on episode 19. And it's kind of interesting because my other live stream on Splinterlands is 119. So there's exactly 100 episodes in between. So, maybe we'll cook up something interesting for like the 50th episode and the 100th episode. I don't know. Haven't even thought about it yet. But interesting idea. It's always nice to have kind of something special going on those anniversary type episodes. But I appreciate everybody dropping by. Hopefully this is good information for whoever chooses to listen to it. Hey, it's Sherry. Good afternoon. Rob is here. Thanks for dropping by. Rob says good morning. Lady Sharon says, about 1,200 on ladder, 1,200 points. Should be taking out about 25 at the end of the month and be caught up with the ladder. So it'll be positive going forward. Nice. Good to hear. I completed the ladder on the 11th. And I have hit my goal of 100 parcels for this month. Okay, so I kind of have this artificial goal for myself. I think I'm happy if I hit 75 parcels for the month, but I'm really happy if I hit my goal for 100. I bought another 25 parcels this past week. I haven't went into any new mayorships. I've been just reinforcing, like I had said, I reinforced 3 of my mayorships this month. I put 50 in one and 25 in the other 2. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm in savings mode for August timeframe. So everything's going smooth for me. I'm looking pretty good. This last 25, I only got 1 legendary, so I did get like 4 or 5 epics. So it was a pretty good draw, but nothing, completely exciting. But I'm in a situation where around me there's kind of a lot of action, so I'm kind of getting nervous about people wanting to come through. So I'm kind of reinforcing my mayorship, saying, hey, you're going to have to really bite off a pretty decent chunk if you want to come through and take this mayorship from me. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Next month, however, is a different question. I got to start looking for a new mayorship to take over to make my 5th. But I won't take it over next month. I'll just have to start working on it. Cerezi says, I finally managed to get to the top 500 in my state this week. Nice. I think I'm... let me check. I think last time I looked, I was in the top 50 of my state. Let me check here. Just scrolling down. I'm at 1,350 parcels, so that makes me exactly number 40 in Pennsylvania. So, but like I said, this is a pretty high competition state. There's some big dogs up here around here. So, I'm not really keeping track of that though. So, I'm making steady progress. So that's my whole thing I put out on my videos. It's like, have a plan. Everybody's in a different kind of situation. You like to do different things in the game. Everybody's going to progress differently, especially if you pay or if you're not paying, So I'm in a situation where the only thing I really pay for is the monthly challenge ladder subscription, because it's such a great deal. And even at that, that's coming out of my rent. So, I'm making roughly about, let's see here. Making roughly about $40 a month. 10 of that is coming out and going to my my subscription. And if you're relatively new, you can't just go directly from rent to your subscription. Your subscription has to be on a charge card, obviously, because it's a monthly fee, right? But what I do is whenever I withdraw, I go into PayPal savings, which is earning a little bit, but then I will take $10 out of the savings and put it back into my regular checking account to account for that charge. But I'm doing pretty good. I'm at about $1.32 a day average. And that's with SRB. But some people are like, well, that's with SRB. What's your real per day? It's 57 cents. But if you're playing this game, you're doing the SRB. You have to do the SRB. So I think this is kind of pointless. I mean, it's a nice stat to have, but I think this is the real stat. Because if you're playing the game, you're making sure that you are boosting all hours of the SRB, because that is basically, as you level up, that's where your money is, right? So I don't necessarily get that argument, well, that's just that's with SRB. Of course it is, because if you're playing the game, you need to be playing with the SRB, because that's where most of your profit is as you level up. Sorry, little rant there. Hey, it's Sherry. He says, I haven't been doing much in Atlas Earth this week. Bought a handful of parcels and played arcade. You're tired of me saying this, but I'm still pushing through on Zombie Miner, I'm down to the last achievement, and I think I have like less than 30 days to do it in. So I've been playing this for the last 2 or 3 months, or whatever it is, and I'm hoping to get that last achievement. And interestingly enough, I haven't been paid for the last 2 achievements, so I'm trying to get that last achievement, and then I'm going to put the ticket in and get all the Atlas bucks out of it, and then be done with Zombie Miner, and then download something new. So that's what I've been doing. AJ Harvey 19's here. Welcome. Says, just got parcel 150. What should be my next step? AJ Harvey, if you're in the States, which I figure you are because 150 is the top of that first tier, I would go over and look at Tasty Wallet's guide, and I believe he says that you need to go ahead, and it makes logical sense to go ahead and push through to the 15% passport boost. So get your badges. That's logically where it would indicate. So that's what I did. At 150, I stopped and I pushed through to get the 15% boost. And then after that, I've been just kind of accruing badges as I go along. I haven't stopped specifically just to buy badges. I bought badges once in a while to account for challenge tiers. I buy badges whenever I see, if I happen to be in an area where I don't have the badge and I see one pop up, I buy it. But I did push through to that 15%, and I'm down to the last 10 badges to make it to 20%. So I would say that. But check out Tasty Wallet's guide. I have it linked under in the information section of all my videos. It's a great source, and he keeps it updated. So I always go by that because I figure, hey, he did a great job, so there's no reason to kind of reinvent the wheel, you know. Lee's here. Greetings from Northern Illinois. Welcome. I grew up in the middle of Indiana, and once in a while we'd go up to Chicago. I went to Great Lakes Training Center. Random information when I went in the Navy, so that was where I went to boot. And sorry, yes, once again, I'm still battling the after effects of bronchitis. Once again, I will have to cough once in a while, so I'm going to try to mute the microphone and catch it. Caveman Cannabis is here. Good morning. Every time I say your name, I think about the Captain Caveman. Robert says, the Walmart settlement commercial for $750 has done nothing but give my information out and have been cold called 5 or 6 times a day where I need to block them. Wow, I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, we live, unfortunately, in the day and age of information collection, and there's so many different places that have our information. And it's interesting from an IT perspective because I'm an IT guy. It's so interesting to me and sad that, and this is kind of a tangent, that there's so many big companies that try to scrimp and save money for those profits, and they don't put enough into security, as far as security for their networks, as far as security for the information and it's called PII, personal information that they keep on everybody. And we can't go a week without hearing about a big company being compromised. So it's sad. Rob says it makes me feel uncomfortable on clicking on any other ads. Yeah, I don't click on any of those ads. Once in a while, an ad will kind of here's what I do. I don't click on ads, okay? And you shouldn't either. And I don't click on links and emails, really, because you shouldn't either from a security perspective. I know this is getting off the rails, but if you like the idea of something and something catches your eye, go look it up on the internet manually yourself and find the correct link to that exact company and go to their website. Otherwise, you could be funneled through any kind of crazy data collection sites, any kind of malware and stuff like that. So I'm not saying this is specifically from ads in Atlas Earth. I'm saying that's just an overall idea. If something catches your eye, go manually look it up and go to the company's specific website instead of clicking on ads. So, Caveman Cannabis says, I'm quickly on my way past the 12 times tier. Nice. I am sitting at 1,350 parcels. I am 150 parcels away from the top of the 3 times tier. So 1,500 plots, parcels is at the top of the 3 times tier here in the States. But I'm looking forward to getting past that, because once I get into 2 times tier, I don't have to worry about the tier jumping into more. Lee says, how do you achieve 100 plots per month? Well, I use the AMP program, actually less these days, since they took since a bunch of the places I used to frequent go away. I do the I basically take part in every different thing available within Atlas Earth, except for the travel program. I have not used the travel program, although the new stuff they've added to the travel program has been tempting. As far as we don't really go out to parks, but I heard somebody say that they can get movie tickets through it. We do movie tickets. In fact, my wife and daughter and I are going out on a movie date this afternoon after the show and going to see the new Superman flick. We had tickets to it last weekend, but we were sick, and we figured nobody wanted to hear us all coughing and sneezing in the back row. So we postponed those. My daughter got us tickets as a birthday gift for me. So we'll be going seeing the new Superman. No spoilers. If you already saw it, no spoilers in the chat, please. I'm a superhero freak. I want to go see the new Fantastic Four at the end of the month too. But basically, I try to take part in as much stuff as I can within the game. And I also am still taking advantage of using my referral code. They're no longer available, but if you have an old referral code, I save mine, and I post mine in my videos that I do from time to time. And so new players use that as well. You know, it doesn't give me a whole lot, but it's a little bit of a stream in there. And I'm looking forward to when they re-add that to the game so everybody can take advantage of it again. I don't know necessarily why it's taking so long to switch providers on that, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I haven't heard anything about it besides what they told us. They're switching the providers that actually provided that referral service. And I don't know why it's taken this long, and going to take effectively till the end of the year or more. So I don't know. They're also probably changing the program in the process. So Brandon says, I got an Explorers Club, but going to get off it after day 90 and slowly recoup my money back. Nice. I don't do the Explorer Club. Not that I have anything against it. You know, I've done the numbers, and I put out a video with the numbers and everything. I'm just taking advantage of the monthly ladder subscription. Brandon says, are you going on an extra 30 minutes today, or we're going to stick to an hour because I'm still coughing. Brandon also says, do you think Explorer Club members should get 4 Atlas bucks for the 20-minute ads to make EC more worth it? I don't know. There's a lot of math behind the scenes on what they do, and I'm just going to say that they probably did the math every different way you could possibly do it from a business perspective, and they're probably giving out what they could possibly give out. And you just have to look at that number and say, hey, is it worth me paying $50 a month? You know, you do get a fair amount of Atlas bucks out of it. So, you know, I've done the numbers. I consider the Challenge Ladder subscription the best value per money per Atlas buck on a monthly basis if you can complete it. And then the Explorer Club would come in after that. And both of those be better value than just outright buying Atlas buck packages, you know. So, but just keep in mind, you know, it's going to take you a certain amount of time to pay off that money. I'm still in the green, and that's the reason why I'm in $280 profit. Every dollar that you put into the game, it's going to take a certain amount of time to pay it off. And that ends up being a little bit of a lengthy process. So you have to do the math and figure out what you feel comfortable with. I'm pretty comfortable right now. In fact, I think they put this challenge ladder subscription in there in November to hit the different demographic of people that didn't want to pay that $50 a month, but probably would pay a little bit per month to be a member of something. And I'm part of that demographic. So I think I'm doing well. And like I said, I've been keeping track of everything I do, and I'm still $280 in the profit. And I'm going up about $30 a month per profit, or about $30 a month at this time is going into my profit margin. So I'd rather just stay in profit and not worry about trying to go into the red. So not that I have anything against it. It's just I'm making the choice, and everybody has to make that choice, right? I realize I could advance a lot faster if I did join the Explorer Club. It's just I've chosen not to at this point. Not that I might not change my mind in the future. Donnie says, I play now for 2 months. I've played now for 2 months, 10% boost and 300 parcels. Mayor of 5 cities, nice. And King's Commissioner. Is that commissioner or commissar? Commissioner. Commissar is like Russian. Commissioner of my province since yesterday. So now I get 20 Atlas bucks for everybody who buys a flag. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm a mayor of 4 areas over here, like counties, cities. That's nice. Sounds like you've made some good progress over there. Good to hear. Good to hear. That sounds so cool. King's Commissioner. Is that the top of the line? Is that like president here in the States? Martin Ray's in the house. Welcome, Martin. Thanks for dropping by. Crypto Limbo is here. Says, hey, Dragon, do you think a person should aim for the higher tiers in the game if you're just wanting a simple passive income stream? What's your advice? My advice now is if you're playing the game, you need to shoot for that 2 times tier. Okay, there's no reason to stay behind. Okay, now there's logical reason to follow tier jumps early on in the game and logically make progress, make a plan. Look at Tasty Wallet's guide. He goes through it, and it's very, he broke down the numbers, and it's very logical depending upon the country you're in, the steps that you go through, buy parcels to this limit, and then concentrate on badges, and then buy parcels, etc. And then work your way up the ladder. There's no reason to not progress in the game. There's a lot of people arguing, oh, if I stay at this level, and they're just happy. If you're happy with making just, minuscule amounts, hey, go for it. But the whole idea of the game is just make progress. Make a plan. Make simple progress. Like I say, everybody progresses at a different rate depending upon what you do within the game. Okay. And just stick to that plan and make logical progress every month so that you're doing a little bit better than last month. Even if it's just for, like I can say, well, I like the income that's coming in because all I have to do is tap on a button and I'm making about $1.30 a day or whatever, that's fine. Well, guess what? Next month, I'll be making $1.40 a day, and so on and so forth, and however long it progresses, right? But keep in mind that the way the game is designed is when you start out, a lot of your profit is coming from that manual, watch that ad, and extend and boost, And as the game goes along and your multiplier, it's like an inverse chart, okay? One line goes up, one line goes down, okay? Your dependence upon or your money that is incoming in rent goes down from that boost here, while your dependence on the SRB goes up. So I'm in the latter stages of the 3 times tier. Most of my profit is coming from that SRB. So that's why I say that as you go along in the game, you really need to make sure that you hit all, 36 hours or 32 hours, whatever of that SRB that there is, right? Because that's the majority of your profit, okay? So I think that if you're going to play the game, play the game. You know, make progress, make a plan, and everybody's the plans are going to differ depending upon what country you're in, right? And it's much the same, but the numbers work out differently depending upon what your boost rate is, and the chart you're playing by on what country, you know. And you can reference the charts, your country charts. They're under the Atlas Reality support website, and you can search for articles. Why do ad boosts change? And you need to look up your tier chart depending upon what country you're playing from. And I suggest that everybody, especially when you're brand new to the game, take a picture of your chart, okay, with your phone. So you have that chart on your phone all the time, and you don't have to look it up on the website, and you can just look at that chart and make your decisions logically so that you can move from tier to tier logically, knowing that your boost is going to go down, but as you accrue more parcels, the money that's coming in is going to go up during that SRB, okay? Take a little bit of a drink. Got a little bit of cold brewed coffee here. I like cold brew coffee. I'm a big coffee fan in general. I like espresso too. I got a cool Philips coffee machine that makes coffee. It makes espresso, but not true espresso because you can't put dark roast beans in it because they're too oily. Side comment, but it's been really cool. Okay, let's jump back into chat. Enough from me. Martin Ray says, wow, the amount of different countries everyone here from. Yeah, it's very cool. One of the things I love about, generally, this chat as well as just online gaming, I'm a graybeard, you can see. I've been playing MMOs online, and one of the things that drew me to MMOs, games online, is the fact that I started meeting people from around the world. Before that, in the advent of the internet, we were kind of closed. You knew people around where you live, but that was it, right? And I thought it was cool that I'm playing online. I've got friends from Germany, UK, different Australia, different countries around the world. I'm like, this is really cool. That's one of the things I've liked about online gaming over the years. So nice and cool. And I know that it's later in some places. I have some people join my streams and it's like the middle of the night. I'm like, wow, thanks for getting up, Martin Ray says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes, I'd appreciate it. Please leave a like on the stream, and I appreciate it when you leave a like on any video you watch, and leave a little comment, below the video. It really helps out. I'm sure you're tired of hearing YouTubers say it helps the algorithm, but it does. It helps push out the video a lot and get more eyes on it, so it helps me out. Taybans. Hopefully I said that right. Finally made 113 parcels. Nice. Like I said, it's all steady progress. It starts out very slow in the very beginning, but it's like a snowball going downhill. It gathers steam as you go along. Look at Tasty Wallet's guide, make yourself a plan, see how you're progressing on a monthly basis, and just follow that plan and just try to, stay active, add an extra, some of the cool events they got going now, like the weekly on Wednesday where you do surveys, you get a bonus, or the bonus that they've been running here on the weekends with the arcade. And I know everybody, once in a while you run into problems, with different things within the game. It's not perfect. This platform is basically several different sections, several different subsystems kind of taped together under a game, and there's several other third-party companies. Like the third-party company runs the arcade, the third-party company runs the surveys and stuff, and they all come together. So I'm looking forward to this new, we haven't talked about it, but the new feed that's going into beta testing. I'm looking forward to that as far as what that's going to do in the game. I'm not necessarily a fan of the new art style, but I can see why it would help the game out and make the game client easier to run for phones. So, and this last patch seemed to have put into game like a for lack of better terminology, a graphical overlay bug where like there's blue or green boxes around places. So hopefully they get that patched out. That was a problem. It's a known problem they're looking at, but hopefully they patch that out with the next one. Cerezi says, I'm going to be going up north to Shipshewana in Indiana with my mom. That's a name I haven't heard in quite a while. Hopefully to pick up some badges along the way. Yeah, this is another good point. Thanks for bringing that up, Cerezi. If you're going on a summer trip, save up some Atlas bucks and get badges when you're out of town, okay? Anytime you're going on a trip, it's the best time to go ahead and spend some Atlas bucks on badges, because as you're progressing through the game, the badges get harder and harder to hit and pick up right around where you live, because you end up having to go out further and further and further. I'm at this point, I have to drive at least 30, maybe 40 minutes just to get to a new badge. That's kind of why I've stopped really actively going out and starting, because it'd be a lot of waste of gas, right? So I just pick them up whenever I can. I am looking forward to that 20% boost, though. Shipshewana. I haven't heard that in a while. I grew up in Indianapolis, the south side of Indianapolis. Back in the day. Still got family there and friends. Beer Money Engine. Hey, thanks for dropping by. It says, hey, man, just getting you another watcher. Playing Deadball right now. Cool. Sounds interesting. Beer Money Engine plays a game called Deadball, and it is based upon baseball. I have not played it, but it sounds quite interesting. Retro Reviews is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Says, hey, Bronze, I made it today. LOL. We started playing Atlas Earth around the same time. Kind of feel we're on the journey together. Pretty cool, eh? I like the fact also that the community is, on the Discord. Reddit is a little bit saltier, but Reddit is always salty, right? The Discord, everybody's pretty nice. Once in a while you get somebody in there complaining about something or other. But, like I said, if you have an issue, they've really tried to streamline the whole process of doing support. I did a video on it this week, but I'm pulling it up here. If you missed that video, one of the topics was the fact that they've kind of streamlined support. So now when you go to the support, when you click on the little gear and you go into support, you get these main headings: arcade rewards, survey rewards, AMP, report player, report bug, app reward. And basically they've just kind of been trying to make the whole support process easier. This exists on the website too. So if you kind of get locked out of the app or something or other, you can always go to the website and put in a ticket. But it's made it very easy to, like, hey, I have a problem with arcade rewards. Just click on arcade rewards. Obviously, they're going to ask you for your screenshots to prove that you didn't get an arcade reward. And then I've been hearing very good reports about it, as far as support goes. So, it's always good. Obviously, a lot of people are, it's usually the vocal majority of people having a problem, like on Reddit or something like that. But it always helps to give good feedback to, like, Annalise is welcome to good feedback. She hears so many complaints. I'm sure anytime she hears something good, it's pleasant, right? Okay, let's get back into chat. Beer Money Engine says, I agree, but I feel like even with the best security possible, we're still going to see leaks. Like, yeah, but I'm from the corporate side, I can see what's going on, because I've worked enough to know that these big companies are trying to pinch pennies every corner. And one of the things that they pinch pennies on is security. You've got people like me who work in IT, and every quarter or every year where we have to try to put up a budget, we always say, these are the guys like me that are trying to preach for more security, right? I know we're getting off kind of on a side street here. But what it all comes down is to that almighty dollar. And when the business says, well, how much is it going to cost for better security? They see the money amount and they're like, nope, not going to happen. And then what happens? Down the road, compromise, right? I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. Okay, jumping around in chat. Lots of chat going on. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. I appreciate it. The problem with hitting the chat, scroll down chat button is it jumps forward too far. Paul Taylor's here. Welcome, Paul. Thanks for dropping by. Yes, please hit subscribe if you haven't already. Donnie says, I know someone who wants to sell his 3 legendary parcels to me for 3 times 150 AB and 3 6-pack of beers. Well, I would say that sounds like a good deal. However, don't make it, I would say, don't make it a frequent happening, because what happens is they keep track of these legendary and epic sales, and if they're selling continually for less than 150 is a great deal. So these things should probably go up for 400 or 500 AB. If they see that happening a lot, you might throw some red flags. So I'd say be careful for that. Caveman Cannabis says, Fantastic Four, R.I.P. Julian McMahon. Yeah, it was sad to hear. He wasn't very old. I mean, I think he was younger than I am. Alberto's here. Welcome, Alberto. I'm at 150 and I have to save to 40 parcels. Should I jump to 190 or wait? It just depends. First of all, if you're in the States, I would say make sure you hit that 15% boost on your badges first before you do any jumps. Retro Review says, Christopher Reeve, always be my favorite Superman. But then again, I'm retro. Yeah, I loved Christopher Reeve. It was a sad life story for him. I mean, he did a lot early in his life, and then what happened to him getting paralyzed and everything, it was pretty sad. Yeah, and I think there was a big poll that went across the internet this last week that everybody agreed with you. But I've liked the other guys playing Superman for the most part. Alfie's here. Welcome, Alfie. Says, hi. The surveys have started to work for me, and I've earned 200 Atlas bucks today and have achieved 500 more ladder points. Nice. Yeah, I think they've, for me, I do a few a week. And I try to do them on Wednesday when I get the extra points, or, obviously at the beginning of the month when we're working on the ladder. But I think they're in a lot better position than what they were last year. And I know some people have problems with them. I can't tell you what to do other than put in tickets. Pascal's here. Thanks for dropping by, Pascal. I don't often watch the live stream, but nice to catch it once. I am subscribed to Explorer Club, not to earn it back, but because it helps me grow a bit. Yeah, I mean, it definitely will help you grow faster. Nothing against it. Everybody has to make their own choices, right? Justin's here, says, just hit $600 yesterday, 18 months in. Nice. Well, you can see my phone here. I'm at $417 and I'm at 14, about 14 months, I would say. I'd have to look at the date, but I think about 14 months. JW Carter's here. I'm here 20 minutes late, but I'm here. Well, thanks for dropping by, JW. Alfie says, how do you get more bucks in the UK? I would say just find out what you can make Atlas bucks off of and just keep doing it. More surveys, more the arcade games if you can find them. If you're decent at doing the mini games, you know me, I'm not really a big fan of the mini games, but you can earn some off of those if you can play those mini games. Find out what you can do and just do more of it. Southern Coin Hunter. Is it best to keep 200 Atlas bucks in reserve for when traveling? Well, I would say what I would tell people is that if you know you're going to travel, start saving Atlas bucks. And I would say multiple have multiple badges worth, because as many badges as you can save up, it's going to be worth your time and effort saving those up for the trip. Because once you buy them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are badges you don't have to worry about in the future, right? Because that quickly becomes the harder part, because you're always going to be able to find parcels. Well, not always as time goes along, but you're generally going to be able to find parcels around you where you live. The badges get more scarce and more scarce. So the more you can get when you're out of town, the better off in the future. You're just setting yourself up better for the future. Temporarily, right up front, you have less parcels, but going in the future, you're just going to have more badges and you're going to be sitting better. Alfie says, I am a mayor of 2 areas, but I am the only person in one of the areas. Well, a lot of playing this game is, keep in mind, this game, while it's been going for a few years here in the States, it's still relatively new in most of the countries, because most of the countries you're playing from started, being added to Atlas Earth last year sometimes. So keep in mind, Alfie, you're still early on in the game. So you're getting yourself set up, and I can't make any promises, but as the game progresses and gets older and you get more players in your area, you're going to be sitting a lot better that now that you've got the base laid for your game, right? So obviously we can't tell how long the game is going to last, but from all appearances, they're doing pretty well. The game has taken off and has much more subscribers and people playing it than what they ever expected. And this has led to what they're doing now with redoing the artwork, because, a lot of the things that are in the game currently, like the mini games and the overall artwork of the game, I get the sense that they didn't necessarily put a ton of effort into, because they didn't expect the game to do so well. Now they're going back and they're redoing things. They wouldn't be redoing things and putting money into it if they weren't proceeding pretty well. So I'd say set up your base. Like I said, you probably get tired of me saying this. Make a plan depending upon what you can earn and make on a monthly basis, and just gradual progress. The whole goal is be better off than be making more rent than what you were last month. Pascal says, mayor in 9 places, but only one is big enough to occasionally get a player to buy a badge. Yeah, same with me. I mean, I'm a mayor in 4 places, and two of the areas get badges once in a while on a weekly basis, and the other 2 don't really get anything. But like I said, this is looking toward the future, and you can just hope for the future. Being a mayor is better than not being a mayor, because somebody travels through your town, they're going on holiday or something or other, they want to buy a badge, get an extra 20. Brandon says, when the farmland style environment's going to happen? No, I don't. We're still open on that, and we hadn't heard, although we are in a much better position for getting news these days now that we have Annalise as a community manager. She's been very on the ball with putting out updates. So if you don't know, you can join the official Reddit, or you can join the official Atlas Earth Discord. And there's a whole announcement section, and she's been putting the announcements cross-posting in both areas. So when there's a news update, she's been very good about that. Now, before her and there's a time period between Manning and her, we were really getting no information out of the company, really. So she's been on the ball, and I've talked to her every once in a while, so she's been very good at that. So kudos to her for doing a good job. Lee says, where do I find this guide for how to progress? Look in one of my videos and look in the information section, the little ellipsis underneath each video, and there's a link that says Tasty Wallet's Beginner's Guide, and click on that link. And then, it's a nice long page, and basically on that page he answers any question that a player could have. And about midway through the page, he breaks it down by country, what you should basically do at different intervals. Alfie says, I love using Atlas Earth. Well, I like it too. In fact, I'm going to make a video this week because I have, once in a while, I have somebody reply to a video that basically says, why do you like Atlas Earth? Why do you keep playing this? And obviously I have people that call it a scam and everything. But here's the interesting thing. Every time I ask a person will say, oh, it's a scam. And then I ask them, I say, what leads you to think that it's a scam? And I never get a reply from these people. So I haven't found any reason to believe that Atlas Earth is a scam. Brandon says, is the gas station and grocery store still going to happen? I don't know. They haven't talked about that for quite a bit. I might ask Annalise on that this week. But they haven't talked about the AMP program work lately in the last month or two. That was on their roadmap at the end of the year, and they talked about it the first couple months of the year, and then they've gone kind of silent. And this last month, we lost a bunch of people, or at least I know I did in my area. We lost a bunch of providers on the AMP program. So yeah, I'm just kind of crossing my fingers on that. I lost the two biggest places that I went. Somebody asked, well, how do you get so many AMP or so many bucks? You know, I used SaladWorks. I was getting 4 times multiplier for SaladWorks, and I used a yogurt shop around my work. I went once a week to get yogurt for lunch, right? And it was 4 times. Both of those are gone. And around here, there is still one little restaurant we like, a sandwich shop, but it's still just 1 times on the Atlas Buck, and I can only go to the auto parts store so many times, right? I just keep going over and buying the little, the little things that make your car smell good. All of us have those in our car now, and I'm like, I only need so many of those, right? Donnie says, no NR1 of the Netherlands is prime minister and has 3,531 parcels. So that's a lot. Okay, so the top rank in the Netherlands is prime minister. Okay. Droid Dude's here. Welcome, Droid Dude. Says, hello, I just reached my next parcel tier. Nice. Like I said, have a plan and intentionally. What you don't want to be is one of those people that always go on, they don't research and go into playing. I don't know. I guess everybody's different. But whenever I go into a game, I kind of do research. And I want to know that I'm going into the game and, I'm not going to be perfect, but at least go into the game with a plan, right? And all the time people post on Reddit, why did my multiplier go down? Well, you didn't look into it and find out how the game is played, right? That's a simple, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go, when I started understanding how the game worked, I wanted to start making videos so maybe people will look up on YouTube and it'll help people out, right? Retro Review says, do players that are at higher tiers only boost during SRB? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe I can ask, what's his name? The guy that's second, the King of Queens. He pings me once in a while. Maybe I'll ask him next time I talk to him. But, 2 times is still better than 1 times, right? Whatever you're saying, 2 times multiplier is still better than 1 time. So I don't know. I'd have to ask him. I'm at 3 times, and I still keep my boost going. It looks like I need to do one, but kind of fall behind a little bit whenever I'm doing these things. I don't do the ads on these live streams because I don't want to run into any problems with the ad companies saying, hey, pull that off out of your live stream or something like that. So Kevin M's here. Welcome, Kevin. Says, I've seen a few mayors change their profile pic in a message saying, stop buying parcels in my town. Do you see those aggressive messages too? Is that against the terms of service? Yeah, I've seen people change their profile pic just for the fun of it. You can basically change it, I believe, whenever you want to. Maybe I don't know if there's any limitation on it, but no, I haven't heard any threats on that. And I don't know if that's specifically against terms of service, but if you feel threatened, you can always report them. There's the report a player function. I don't know exactly. Maybe I'll ask Annalise. I don't know exactly what they would do, but it's part of the game. Competition is part of the game. That's one of the reasons why I like the game. Like I said, going back to my idea for a video this week is, why do you play the game? Well, part of the game is competition. It comes down to simple numbers. If you want to maintain mayorship, it's easy. Just buy more parcels, right? That's it. You should, if you come into this game, you've got to expect competition, right? Now, would I say that is it worth coming out of your pocket to buy actual Atlas bucks to maintain mayorship? Probably not for me. But there's some of these places where a lot of badges are sold, but like I live outside Philadelphia, right? And Philly, it takes several thousand parcels to be mayor of Philadelphia, but I'm sure that he gets lots of Atlas bucks off of that from people buying badges, right? So no. To answer your question, if you feel threatened, you might report the player and tell them what's going on. I don't know. There's no reason to report. There's no reason to threaten a player. It's part of the game. Kevin goes on to say, but I find most of the AE community is really nice. Yeah, I love jumping on Discord and saying good morning to everybody. I generally find everybody pretty nice. Grofus is here. Says you get started in an online MMO with Ultima Online. Funny story. I played Ultima Online all of about a weekend or two back in the day when it first came out, and I just got ganked so many times that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time on that, and I stopped playing. Although, interesting enough, all these years later, Ultima Online is still going. My main experience in online MMOs started in '99 with EverQuest. I was hardcore in EverQuest for years, and then World of Warcraft. And I still go back and play those once in a while. So, hey, it's Jerry says that Kevin. That's crazy. I haven't seen that yet. Donnie said, I made a mistake by buying an Atlas Earth sweater, but did not use the connected card, so I did not get 6 Atlas. Yeah, here's the thing. If you're going to buy and take advantage of the AMP program, if you're outside the United States, you can buy from the Atlas Earth site. Like I have this coffee cup, one of the items. Not that I needed another coffee cup, but I wanted to have it for this show, So, and this T-shirt. I like their T-shirts. They feel nice. Here's the thing. It's got to be on the connected credit card, like Donnie said, okay? There can't be an in-between service, okay? It can't be like Apple Pay or Google Pay, something in the middle. It's not going to work, okay? That it has to charge directly to the card, okay? And it has to be a charge and not a debit. So that took me a while to learn too, Something we've learned at the process and hearing feedback from everybody. Brandon says you might want to take some bronchitis medication. Yeah, I've been to the doctor and I'm still on a couple different medications. It's just bronchitis takes a while to get over. It gets down in your lungs. I'm in that stage. Crypto Limbo says USA here. I've enjoyed playing the game. When I first started, you could barely log in. If you were lucky, the game has come a long way. I play very passively and have made $360 so far. Not bad for a goofy app. Yeah. Hey, like I said, I can't exactly explain it. Like I said, I'm going to do a video. I like the collection aspect. I like the aspect of whenever you flip over a land, it has a randomness to it. It's kind of like opening a pack of cards in a card game or something like that. You have this random chance of getting a legendary. I like that idea. I like the idea of everybody that I've dealt with. Most everybody I've dealt with in the Atlas Earth community has been nice. It gives us something to talk about on a weekly basis and do kind of random stuff. Brandon says, I would like to get an iPad with cellular data and GPS so I get more land space. When you mobile hotspot with your phone, you're only tethering data but not GPS. Yeah. Pascal says, I'm on Reddit. My Discord account was blocked because I attempted to join a Discord channel that apparently had content that wasn't allowed. Kind of harsh before you were able to see it, but whatever. Hey, Annalise is here. Annalise says, absolutely. And I send the positive feedback to the appropriate teams. Yeah. Hey, I just scrolled down and I saw some people donated. Thank you, DJ Dubstomp, for becoming a Hatchling member of the channel. Thank you very much. Donnie S also donated, so I do appreciate it. That keeps the channel going. And when you're a member of the channel, you also get a few little bonuses, like using the little emojis, and also at the higher levels getting to see my videos earlier. So I do appreciate it. Much thanks. Or many thanks, rather. Retro Review says, I miss spinning the wheel now. Just spinning a needle, just not satisfying. Yeah, I guess the wheel was a little bit better, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do, brother? Every time I say what you gonna do, I think about Hulk Hogan. Southern Coin Hunter says, I can tell where the panhandlers are playing Atlas Earth at. Pascal says, the reason why people call it a scam is because they want to be able to get paid within minutes after installing the app, like you see in the ads. Yeah, I mean, some people say, well, if you put money into it, it takes a long time to recover. And I talk about that frequently. And if you look into it, you do see that if you actually buy Atlas Bucks, it does take a while to recover, you know. But if you do a little bit of homework, you know, that doesn't necessarily make the game a scam. That just means that you should have done your homework. You know, you can spend money on all kinds of games and you don't even get any rent back, right? You can go on 100,000 different games online. Look at all these games that we play in the Atlas Arcade. A lot of them offer things you can buy in game. You're not going to earn any rent off of them or anything. So it doesn't make them scams. It just makes that's the type of game. It's called a gotcha game, you know. Alex Coleman is here. Or, sorry, Coleman. I added an L to your name. Hello, playing since December in UK and nearly 300 parcels. Nice, with $43 income. Not bad, but I've subscribed to the club and ladder as well. By the way, not a scam. Yeah, you should make pretty good progress on that, Alex, as far as being a member of both the clubs, or the club and the ladder. Thanks for dropping by. DJ Dubstomp says, I'm at the 2 times multiplier tier with 1,390 parcels. So you're just a little bit ahead of me. And I boost 24/7. Well, there you go. Yeah, like I said, 2 times is always better than 1 times, right? Hey, it's Sherry. Says, I'm petty enough I would buy parcels right beside the rude mayors. Well, you know, it's just part of the game, right? It's just part of the game. And that's also one of the reasons why I never do parcel art, because I'm always afraid somebody's going to come by and ruin my parcel art by buying a parcel like in the wrong spot or something like that. And maybe I'm just a little bit low on, I wouldn't say I'm low on creativity, but most of mine are just like random shapes. Around my house is like a big rectangle, a huge rectangle actually. It's like more than 675 parcels of a rectangle. Southern Coin Hunter says mine was RuneScape. Yeah, old school RuneScape is still going. As far as I know, old school RuneScape is doing better than the new RuneScape because they did a lot of money grabs in the new RuneScape. They're trying to change though, I think. Southern Coin Hunter says, you are right about subscribers and comments on videos. Just crossed 1K subscribers on my coin channel. Nice. It's good to hear. Another smaller YouTuber. It's tough. It's tough being a smaller YouTuber, right? I went for a couple years doing videos before I even went over 1,000 members, and I didn't even go over 1,000 members until I started covering Atlas Earth because it's a much wider audience than the other game I cover. So I can appreciate it. Keep it hanging there. Scary Terry's Paintball World. Love that name. Says, my survey hasn't been working for like a month. It says in a few hours I submitted a ticket. Yeah, really about all you can do is submit a ticket. Once in a while you can make sure that you completely reboot your phone, because some of these issues happen because you have a bad connection or something like that. But if your account for some reason was put on hold as far as the surveys or something or other, they might have to do something behind the scenes. So I'm not sure. As an IT guy, I can tell you the main thing to do is when you have a problem, the first thing to do is put in a ticket and see what they say. Alberto says, I'm at 15% badges. Do you think I should do the jump to 190 if I'm at 150, or should I wait? Well, like I said, I would refer to, I think that as long as you're at 15% and you're here in the States, I think you're safe to go ahead and go to 190. But like I said, I would look at Tasty Wallet's guide. Because it's been a while since I checked it out. But I think that the next step after the 15% is to go ahead and do that tier jump. So Red X gets the last statement. Says, I'm a mayor now, baby. Congratulations. Yeah, that's the end game. Collect mayorships. And if you can, governorship, if you can take it over from a big dog. But I'm going to cut it off here. Once again, thanks go out to DJ DJ Dub Stomp and Donnie S for supporting the channel. I appreciate everybody dropping by. Please leave a like and subscribe. And hey, I'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 12 p.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. Thanks, and have a great weekend. And as always, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Atlas Earth.